What is going on, guys? A bit of a late one, but just wanted to give my trade recap on Monday, which today was a break even day. Just because of where, like, today was kind of choppy. I'm not gonna lie. Like we had our entry model, and we had displacement, and we had a V-shaped recovery from a high time frame POI. We followed all our low time frame execution, candle closes, V-shape, high time PDRA, and confluences being fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps, right? So, jumping right into it, the trade was taken on gold, and this trade was taken on the 19th. Today is the 20th because it's 1 a.m. So the date on this would have been the 19th of Jan. Would have been a Monday. And yeah, kind of just want to give an overlook of the trade I took and why I took it and things like that. So coming into the 50-minute time frame, I see that we start to make some legs lower. We displaced heavily during Asia session, and I was just looking to see if I could get a continuation, making sure all liquidity has been taken out before kind of catching that continuation on the 1 minute time frame. So yeah, we had a 50-minute gap, which was here. As well as that, we had a 5-minute gap that was kind of like refined. But as you can see, that we had draws to the upside as well as draw to the downside. But in terms of bias goes, on the high time frame, the only thing I kind of had to work with was the fact that we disregarded this fair value gap here and we closed below it. And it just kind of tells me that, hey, like, we're probably not displacing from especially those 1 hour and 4 hour gaps anymore. Well, not the 4 hour, but the 1 hour. As you can see, like, ideally, if we wanted to push price higher, we would do it from this area, right? But it was disrespected, and therefore kind of for my bias in terms of what I should be looking for. 4 hour time frame, I was bearish as well, like, just because we had this gap here that was created in the market. I think during this would have been for data news, maybe things like that. Like, it was so much buying pressure to where it actually made a gap in the market. So like it's definitely like a magnet for price, like definitely a magnet for price. Like, it's insane how that goes. But yeah, in the 1 hour time frame, we weren't displacing from bullish PDRAs anymore. So that was the first sign for me. And the 50-minute time frame, we had a huge amount of displacement down, showing signs of weakness for buying pressure. And within that move down, we made a 50-minute gap. And again, it was refined to a 5-minute gap. And within that, I was just looking for liquidity to be taken out. So it was these 5-minute highs to be taken out, as well as these 1-minute highs as well. So I'll mark out market open, but market open here. So as you can see, we took out a set of draws just before market session opened, and I just wanted to see whether we respect this area or do we continue to catch something like this. Like, it's just depending on whether we fell between these gaps or not. So when price takes out internal, it likes to fill out, or like when the price rushes somewhere, it definitely likes to fill something. So in this case, we filled that 50-minute gap. And when we filled that 50-minute gap, we also took out these 5-minute highs, as well as those 1-minute highs I was talking about. And as you can see, we actually took out these highs as well. And then we had that V-shaped recovery. So again, all liquidity was taken out. So this and this were the closest. After taking out these internal lows, we price opens, we rip straight up to the upside, we take out these highs, and pretty much I was looking for some form of V-shaped recovery. And at this point, we had that V-shaped recovery, which was all the way down here. I'm like, okay, cool. Like once I saw this move down, all I was looking for was a retracement, because ideally we don't want to enter, you know, we don't want to enter this far down, you know, and then our risk to reward will have to be something like this, you know, so it won't really be worth it in terms of that. So I looked for a retracement, and within that, we also had, on that move up, we also had a 5-minute fair value gap here that we made on the move up, taking out, you know, those 5-minute highs as well as those 1-minute highs. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, my thinking is that, like, even though we had a huge push down, we fill in this 5-minute gap, we see that reaction. Like, once we get that confirmation from this 1-minute gap to see that it's holding and we're displacing away from it, chances are, you know, we're not going to displace from this 5-minute gap. So I actually entered, so yeah, we tapped into this 5-minute, we get that reaction into this 1-minute fair value gap that was put within that leg down. And I was just pretty much looking for like a bullish sign, right? I was looking for a bullish sign. I mean, not a bullish sign, a bearish sign, right? Like, show me that this 5-minute fair value gap isn't going to hold, right? And we react to those 1-minute fair value gaps that was made on the move down, right? Displacing away from this 15-minute gap here, right? So we had all our kind of needs checked, right? We had that we had a high time frame bias, right? We had high time frame Peter rays, which was in this case, our high time frame Peter ray was the 15-minute time frame. We had that V-shaped recovery. We had liquidity, or buy side liquidity was taken out before taking this trade within the 1 minute. So like the closest 1 minute we saw get taken out was these highs and these highs here. So these 5-minute highs as well as this 1 minute internal high, right? So all liquidity was been taken out. We get that V-shaped recovery, right? And then we get that retracement, and then we get reaction from zones, right? That's the last like kind of tick in terms of the trading plan, right? So our reaction from our zone was this push down. Ideally, we actually react from this fair value gap here. But what I should have done was wait for this inverse to be, for this to be inverse. But again, since my bias was pretty much like since my bias was already like set, and like, you know, we had our high time frame bias and we had a high time frame PRA, which is in the case of 50-minute. Ideally, I was just looking for a retracement, just so I wouldn't be horrible. So once we got that retracement, we got our displacement move. We actually react from that 1 minute. We take out these highs, right? And I was pretty much ready to close my position early because my stops were above this 5 minute here. So I was pretty much ready to close, but we wicked it and tapping into this 1 minute inversion. So we wicked it and we took out, you know, those highs once again. And then, you know, we start to chop up a little bit, and then we had a huge displacement down, right? So at this point, my stops are at break even, right? Once we break past this low, my stops is going break even because, you know, ideally we take out this high, we take out this internal high, and then we actually tap into this 5 minute here, right? And we take out this internal low, which fuels a move, potentially back up, you know, following that short time trend. So I was kind of just protecting myself from there. But as you can see, this trade would have been a winner because I was targeting these lows down here as a draw on the day. Yeah, as you can see, we get that retracement. We get that nice flush move down, but not flush enough to where we displace away from these lows. We kind of just tap it and then get that reaction because tapping into this 5 minute fair value gap as well as sweeping internal lows. like that kind of fueled the move back up again to stop me out at break even before kind of continuing the move. But again, like with this price action, I would have, like, either I won or I got break even. I'm happy with those two just because like this price action was super choppy. We didn't get that displacement that we're looking for, and once we did get our displacement, price was kind of deciding whether, you know, we fuel the move back up again, or, you know, we continue that trend. But as you can see, like even here we were like really indecisive of where we wanted to go, right? Did we want to go up higher, or did we want to follow the short time trend and go down lower, right, to take out these lows? So as you can see, like market was kind of like not sure what to do here, and then we get that displacement down again, we get that move up, and then we get that flush move straight down to these 5-minute lows here. So yeah, I mean, not bad on the trade. I'll definitely take the break even, that's for sure, after looking at this price action. In terms of where I entered exactly, as you guys can see, I entered on this candle being closed, right, which ticks off all my kind of confluences and the stuff that's written on my board. You know, we had that high time frame bias, right? We had that 1 hour bullish fair value gap that was flipped to the downside. We had liquidity being taken out, so all these internal highs were taken out before we taken that trade. We had a V-shaped recovery, so once we took out these internal highs, right, we get that V-shaped recovery back down again, and then we get the, and then the last one being candle closes and reaction from zones, right? So we get back into the zone, we get a reaction out of it, and a candle close. Well, a candle closed nicely with some bearish momentum out of this 1 minute fair value gap, showing bearish intent. And yeah, stops we're above this 5-minute fair value gap, and I was just targeting a 1 to 4 on this one. But as you can see, take profit did hit. Super choppy trade, but gladly I got out of break even, so overall not a bad day. Yeah, again, just one trade a day, you know, that stops the hassle of, you know, because my second trade will always be not as good as my first. So yeah, I'll just leave it to one trade a day, because I use all my processing brain power to form a trade, form a bias. You know, if I take a second trade, it's just based on the 5-minute or 1 minute. Like it's not ideal in terms of like progressing, in terms of, you know, reaching that goal, which is to be consistent, right? So yeah, and that kind of wraps it up on the day. Yeah, just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. You know, we're on the road to consistency, and yeah. Also want to say God bless, right? I hope you guys have a great night or morning wherever you guys are from, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.